So another surface modeling exercise is for modeling of this earphone. Um, as you will see that we can consider there are three surface bodies that we have to model. Initially, it would be the head, and then these handle, and then this joining transition between these two. What we can do, starting from the sketch that has been provided, this can be revolute to create the head of the earphone. So go to the surface and select the revolute surface. And we're gonna select this surface as a revolute surface, which would be the axis would be this rotational. Create that. So we have this. And then this line would be the one that we can cut this excess off of these surface body. So go to the trim surface. For trimming tool, I would select this sketch. And then for remove, I would select the remove selection and I would cut out these excess piece here. Hit OK. And then I have this cut out here. I can hide these sketches. I don't need that anymore. Hide this. And then this handle would be revolute of this around this axis. So again, use a revolute surface, this line, and then revolute around layer selection around this one. Then I have this part. So maybe the tricky part of this modeling would be this transition between these two parts. So what we can do, let's select if we can use a boundary surface, for example, as a instead of, we can use a lofted as well, but I want to transition between this profile and the other profile. Then the tricky part is how to put these handles. Maybe if I played a little bit. So what we have to do before picking the right point, it's if you look at the drawing, it says that the condition is tangent to the boundary faces for that part. So from this drop down, I would select it tangent to face. For another condition is tangent to face. And I will bring it down maybe here, another one here to the down part. And so we need to move it in a way that essentially a preview appear. Maybe this one should be a little lower. Like this one. Maybe what I can do is that line that was here, maybe we can, let me get exit out of it. I have hide one of some of these sketches. Let's show them again. Maybe I can use them as a guide where to put that and then try it again. Now let's try it one more time. Boundary surface, this face, this face. I have to pick it. This is the right point here. Maybe I have to put it a bit much closer. There you go. And that appears, which means it's correct. Then hit OK. So I think this is very tricky, the way that we have to pick this one. And I understand that how, initially would be difficult how to put them together. Okay. So this is the challenging part that we deal with that. So here it says that we need to, this surface that we have is offset surface for 2 millimeter, that we need to create that. So going back to model. So going back to drawing, it shows that this face is need to be trimmed for 104 millimeter diameter, but we need to offset that top surface first for 2 millimeter. So going back, we need to offset this surface. Going to offset the surface, which is, where is the offset? Here. We need to make sure this going 2 millimeter gonna be offset. Where is that? Is it created? Yeah, you see that it's been created, that top surface for 2 millimeter. Now we need to, if I hit OK here, this surface has been offset. Now we have to trim this, but for a radius of 104. So the bottom face is going to trim to 104. The top face is going to trim for 108. So let's do the trim of the bottom face first, 104. So I will keep it in this cut view to make it a little easier. So go to the top plane, create a circle, and I will smart dimension it for 104. Is that accurate? It says go back to drawing, 104 for the bottom face. So go back. While the sketch is selected, I'll go to trim surface. And sketch tool is this, but what are we going to do is trim selection, remove the selection, which we are going to select this surface. Maybe it's easier to trim the top surface first, right? Because its selection would be a little challenging. We can go back, make it 108. Let's do that, 108. To trim the top surface first. Go back out of the sketch, trim surface using this tool, and I wanted to remove the top. Okay, the top has been removed for 108. See that? Now again, we need to trim the bottom surface for 104. Do the same, go to the top plane, start a new sketch, and this time it would be 104. Go back, trim surface, remove, and this time we are going to trim the bottom surface. Exit out of this cut mode. You see that now we have this. Oh, well, we have to cut, I think, yeah, what we made a mistake was in trim 3, instead of removing this, we need to keep this. Okay, yeah, we have this. So, and this gap needs to be filled between these two. We need to transition between these two, which one thing that we can do is we can, if you go back to the drawing, it says it's a boundary surface and curvature to the boundary face. So going back, boundary surface, and we would select this edge and the other edge, and it says what was that? Curvature to boundary face. So curvature to face, curvature to face, and hit OK. Now we have this nice transition between that. So I think it's pretty much done. Now what is remaining is creating these holes, which this says you gotta better to use a pattern fill and instant spacing 6. So it's essentially is giving everything, and it says, however, make sure that it is this boundary that you're going to create is at this diameter 104, which is that sketch that we essentially cut it. We can use that. Instant spacing 6, angle 60 degrees, margin 1. So it's pretty much standard. If you go to the fill pattern, go to the feature, from this linear pattern you are going to select fill pattern. So wait a second, I think it's probably not this model, this one was the actual one. Feature, fill pattern. Okay, so what is the fill boundary that you want to select and create that? So okay, so before doing the fill pattern, we better to go and create a solid part, because the fill pattern, it's only applicable to the solid modeling. So we need to thicken this, kneading and thicken together. So go to the surface, knit all the surfaces together. I will create here, and I will create one solid part. Going back, I will see that the thickness is 3 millimeter inside. So I'll go and thinking command, and that's what has been selected, and it would be 3 millimeter inside. Right now this is outside, so I would create an inside. Then I have my own here. I can go ahead now create if I can color it if I want it. For example, let's do that. If I want to color it, I can select for example a face, and I make it whatever color, like red, for example, as a option, and I can select other faces that I wanted to be select. How about this boundary? Sounds like this is white, so okay, it would be red. And then these surfaces are faces are white. This is white, this is white, this is white. That's pretty much my color. Now I can create this fill pattern here. What I can do first, I can select a new sketch if I want for 104 millimeter of the filling boundary. So this is, I can use the previous sketch as well, but not a big deal if I create this one. I would select this sketch and I go to fill boundary, where they have fill pattern, and in the fill pattern that sketch is selected. Here I have to select this is saying perforation, circular, square, and polygonal, which I'm gonna select this one. The instances between the spacing is 6, so I make it 6. Angle 60 degrees, margin 1 millimeter, seed cut 3 millimeter diameter. So what is this? Pattern direction. So I would create a seed cut, and the hole here is 6 millimeter. We create a seed cut. Probably the face should be this face. we need to cut. Select the counter, set direction. Oh, you have to create a direction for each field. So what do we need here is really a direction for that. So hit escape, go back to section 3. Maybe I need to create a center line from this point to this circle because we need to create a horizontal direction. We need that. Section 3, try one more time. Fill pattern. Sketch tree, that would be 6 millimeter, 1 millimeter diameter. Now here in the orientation, we can pick this one. Probably that would be something that we need. Create seed cut of 3 millimeter. We can say validate to count it. And this one, we can probably select this one. We need that. Make it a full preview. Okay, bodies, I would select. So the body, we have to select the surface to cut it. Yeah, hit escape. I think we need to make some changes. Okay, one more time. Sketch tree, select the fill pattern. Here is 6 millimeters, 60 in that direction. We would select this line. Create seed cut. Oh, there you go. Now it picks up. It would be 3. And we need to flip the direction because we want it to be upward. To cut it, then hit OK. That should create the holes. I'm not sure that why the previous try was not successful. And that concludes this exercise.